Hello everyone, Sue from Pokisudami here, and in this video we are going to take a good look at everybody's favorite little ogre girl, Ogerpon. So this video is going to cover a lot of information and really look at multiple aspects of Ogerpon's lore, its design, and how it connects to real world Japan, and even where it might come from. As always, please do consider dropping a like, commenting and subscribing. Also, please do consider sharing this video with your friends. A lot of time, research and effort was put into this video. I bugged so for information, scoured over Japanese websites, and used my own personal knowledge. I would really love if this video could be watched and enjoyed by many people. So I'm hoping that it will at least reach 2,000 views and 100 likes. Please do consider sharing this video with others to help me reach this goal. The storyline of the Teal Mask is inspired by the famous Japanese folklore story, Momotaro, sometimes known as Peach Boy in English. Momotaro is the story of a boy who was born from a peach. The peach was found by an elderly lady by a river. The lady then brought the peach home to eat with her husband. However, upon cutting open the peach, they found a boy. Delighted to have been granted a child that they had long desired, they named the boy Momotaro, Momo meaning peach and Taro meaning oldest son. This boy grew to be very strong. He left and journeyed towards the nearby Onigashima, known as Oni Island in English, to fight against a band of Onis who had been tormenting his home and village. While on his journey, he befriended 3 animals, a dog, a monkey and a pheasant, whom agreed to aid Momotaro on his quest in exchange for some kibidango. Upon reaching Oni Island, together they were able to defeat all the Oni. They then returned home with the Oni's treasures and the Oni chief as a captive. So for those who don't know, in Japanese, ogre is Oni. So of course, Ogerpon is based off these Onis. So both the connections and the variations to the story of Momotaro are obvious in the Teal Mask. The big main difference comes from the fact that Ogerpon is an Oni who didn't come to the village to cause havoc, but simply to have fun and hoping for a peaceful life with her human friend. Additionally, Ogerpon is a lone Oni, whereas in the story of Momotaro, there was a band of Oni that were vanquished on Oni Island. And the loyal 3 are inspired by Momotaro's animal companions. However, in the Teal Mask, they are greedy and devious, the protagonists of this story. And of course, another glaring difference is the missing Momotaro. However, that may not really be the case, but that's a topic for another video. While looking quite dissimilar from standard traditional Japanese Oni, which tend to be large, boros and ugly, Ogerpon does display some telltale Oni traits in its design, most notably the teeth that stick out cutely, as well as the uniquely shaped eyebrows. The top part of its head has a large leaf, and this weird wooden sculpture adorning its head. This section here resembles either a happy jacket or a haori coat. A happy jacket is a traditional wide-sleeved Japanese jacket that is usually worn at festivals. Happy jackets are often worn with casual clothing. A haori coat is similar in shape, but they tend to be longer. Haori coats also tend to be constructed from higher quality fabric and are considered to be more formal. Primarily, they are worn with other traditional Japanese wear, such as kimono or hakama. The body resembles a green dress with flowers, casual clothing to match with the happy aesthetic, really going for that festival feeling. The legs appear to be wooden, with the feet in particular resembling traditional Japanese footwear, geta, a wooden sandal often worn with traditional Japanese clothing. Another interesting design fact about Ogerpon is how it resembles a sudachi tree. A sudachi is a Japanese citrus fruit, kind of like a lemon I guess, it's kind of hard to describe. But sudachi is also the code name for the Teal Mask DLC. Looking at Ogerpon's wooden legs, its green dress and its green body in general, as well as the little circle objects on the dress, it resembles a sudachi tree. In Japan, there are 5 common colors for Oni, each with a meaning tied to the 5 Buddhist hindrances. During Setsubun, a holiday in Japan where you throw beans at colored Onis. Hitting different colored Onis are meant to free you from different hindrances. Ogerpon's mask colorings likely have some inspiration from this concept. However, Ogerpon currently has 4 masks in game. Whether this number will increase or not in the future, we currently do not know. The 4 masks currently are Teal Mask. In the Japanese version of the game, the teal mask is called Midori no Kamen, meaning green mask. A green mask. This mask keeps Ogerpon as a pure grass type. This is the only mask that Ogerpon was able to keep following the first ambush from the Loyal 3. It is this mask that we see the most of in the story and promotional work. Looking at the mask on a surface level, the emotion seen on this mask is anger, or it could be happiness. It's kind of a blurred line. But let's look a bit deeper from the perspective of Japanese folklore. Ryokuki is the term for a green Oni. Green Onis represent poor health and lack of motivation. Following losing its human companion and its other masks, it could be said that Ogerpon lost its motivation and barely left its den. Wellspring Mask. In the Japanese version of the game, the Wellspring Mask is called Ido no Kamen, meaning Water Well Mask. The Blue Mask. This mask gives Ogerpon the water typing as an additional type. This mask is obtained after defeating the Titanic Monkey Dory. This mask shows a sad expression with crystallized tears. The term for blue Onis is Ao Oni. Blue Onis are said to represent resentment and hatred, malice and other similar emotions. As the Wellspring Mask was stolen by Monkey Dory, perhaps it could be said that its desire for intellect left it with strong feelings of malice. Hearth Flame Mask. In the Japanese version of the game, the Hearth Flame Mask is called Kamado no Kamen, meaning Hearthstone Mask. The Red Mask. This mask gives Ogerpon the fire typing as an additional type. This mask is obtained after defeating the Titanic Serendipity. The visible emotion on this mask could be interpreted in different ways, but in my personal opinion, it seems determined and strong-willed. Red Onis are referred to as Aka Oni. Red Onis represent greed. Out of all the Oni, Red Onis are probably the most prevalent and commonly thought of. Her flame mask was stolen by Serendipity. Perhaps its longing for beauty and all the perceived benefits of being beautiful made it greedy. Cornerstone Mask. In the Japanese version of the game, the cornerstone mask is called Ishizue no Kamen, meaning foundation stone. The Greyish Mask. This mask gives Ogerpon the rock typing as an additional type. This mask is obtained after defeating Okidogi. This mask obviously shows the emotion of extreme joy. While the cornerstone mask is grey, I believe it's a design choice, and it likely represents the Black Oni. Black Onis are called Kuro Oni. Black Onis represent self-doubt. Okidogi stole the cornerstone mask. Once weak and small, Okidogi desired to be strong. Perhaps Okidogi is simply full of self-doubt. The one color Oni we are missing is yellow. However, in some cases, yellow and white are interchangeable. But nonetheless, yellow Onis are called Kiki. Yes, Kiki. Yellow Onis represent turmoil, regret, and attachment. Of course, with Kieran's nickname being Kiki, it's hard not to jump to conclusions, and it very likely means nothing in the grand scheme of things, especially since Kieran's Japanese name is Suguri. But those hindrances seem to perfectly match Kieran. While I think the visual facial expressions shown on the mask are relevant, as it's understandable for the larger worldwide market, I do also believe that the Oni color meanings that are common thought in Japan, without doubt had some influence on the creation and design of Ogerpon and her masks. The staff which Ogerpon wields and uses in battle is called a cudgel in English, but in Japanese it's called a kanabo. Kanabo are traditional Japanese weapons, a metal club with studs or spikes. While kanabo were used by samurais in the past, in tales and traditional art, and even in modern art, onis are often depicted as wielding kanabo. While there are other weapons that oni are often associated with, such as sasumata, a two-pronged weapon, commonly associated with blue onis. Ono, an axe, commonly associated with black oni. Ryoba no kogiri, a double-edged sword, commonly associated with yellow oni. And naginata, a Japanese polearm with a curved single-edged blade, commonly associated with green oni. Which weapon would you have liked to see Ogerpon wield instead of a kanabo? But all things considered, kanabo are without doubt the weapon that first comes to mind when thinking about oni. Kanabo are so commonly associated with oni that there is even a Japanese saying, oni ni kanabo, which translates roughly to, it's like giving a kanabo to an oni. It implies that something is being done to give an advantage to somebody who already has an advantage. As oni are already considered strong fighters, giving them a kanabo as a weapon, which they wield so well, only makes them stronger. Of course, like any great oni, Ogerpon wields her kanabo with ease. Not only is Kitakami part of the Pokemon world, Kitakami is also the name of a real city located in the Iwate Prefecture in the Tohoku region of Japan. While the geographical landscape is different between the two Kitakamis, the real-world Kitakami also has quite a few connections to Oni. In the real-world Kitakami, there is an Oni museum. This museum holds a lot of Oni-related historical items, and it also showcases the stories and myths of Onis. Additionally, in Kitakami, there is a long-running troupe of sword dancers who perform okenbai, the demon swords dance, for audiences wearing colorful Oni masks, matching the colors of Ogerpon's masks. Perhaps this is why Ogerpon can learn swords dance. However, we do know that according to Ogerpon's story, although it has a long history with the Pokemon world's Kitakami, it is not originally from Kitakami. It was said that Ogerpon came to Kitakami with its human friend. However, as they both looked different, they were shunned by the locals. So this just begs the question, if not Kitakami, where does Ogerpon come from? Let's look at some possibilities while keeping in mind real-world connections. While almost every country has tales of ogres, the same can be said of Japan. Almost every region of Japan has unique stories of onis. But there are two areas of Japan that I think could be viable options for Ogerpon's place of origin, starting off with Johto. Generations 2 Johto is based off the Kansai region of Japan. The Kansai region is a region of Japan with a long history, especially in the area of Kyoto, which was once Japan's capital. The Pokemon world's equivalent to Kyoto is Ecruteak City. Kyoto Prefecture's Oeyama is considered to be a very historical and important place for Oni folklore and tales, long thought to be inhabited and called home by Oni. Oeyama is often referred to as Mount Oe or Oni Mountain. Nearby Oeyama is the Japan Oni Exchange Museum, a museum which showcases Oni culture, especially focusing on the legends of Oni from Oeyama. Passing through Oeyama is also the famous Oni Trail, a 100-kilometer long trail with a variety of routes that stretches from northern Kyoto Prefecture all the way to the Sea of Japan. While there are many stories of Oni in Kyoto and Oeyama, the most famous would need to be that of Shutendoji, the Oni King, said to be the strongest of all Oni. Shutendoji was born a human, but he was born pretty much fully grown. Because of this, he ended up being outcast. and even at a young age he would drink heavily. Well, the stories of how Shutendoji became an Oni vary between different tellings. The most popular story is that one day there was a small festival in the local town. Wanting to play a bit of tricks on the local villagers, Shutendoji went to this festival and he wore a red Oni mask. However, this mask ended up being attached to his face. Thus, he became an Oni. Eventually, it was said that his home base ended up becoming Mount Oe. And, in the end, it also became his final resting place, as it's said that he is buried within Mount Oe. In the story of Momotaro, the home of the Onis that are defeated by Momotaro is Oni Island. However, in the Teal Mask, Ogerpon's den is located in Oni Mountain. Considering the mask as well as the mountain, it's very obvious that there are connections between the story of Shutendoji and Ogerpon. Could this be a hint towards Ogerpon originating from Johto? The next possible place of origin for Ogerpon is Sinnoh, formerly the Hisui region. Sinnoh is based off the real-world Hokkaido region of Japan. Unlike traveling from Johto, traveling from Sinnoh would require ocean travel. But in the Teal Mask, we already have confirmation of another Pokemon migrating from Hisui to Kitakami, that being Blood Moon Ursaluna. Like other regions in Japan, Hokkaido has its fair share of Oni folklore and stories. In particular, Noboribetsu, a city in Hokkaido, is the home of the Jigoku-dani, also known as Hell's Valley, a volcanic crater that is said to be like hell on earth. Noboribetsu is known for its many hot springs, which are the homes to many Oni statues. Additionally, during summer, fireworks are set off daily by the Yukijin, the guardian Oni gods of Noboribetsu hot springs. The responsibility of the Yukijin is to ward off bad spirits and to bring happiness to people, either by the use of their fireworks or by their kanabo. This could relate to Ogerpon, as Ogerpon is shown to enjoy festivals, which are often associated with fireworks. And also, Ogerpon wards off the evil of the loyal three with the use of its mighty kanabo. Another possible tie would be between the meaning of Hisui and the Teal Mask. Hisui means jade in Japanese. Jades are a greenish teal stone. The connection there is quite obvious. However, we do have a reason to look outside of Japan, even if only for a brief moment. The fact that Ogerpon's name, even in the Japanese version of the game, remains Ogerpon is interesting. Onipon would have been a good, sensible name, but it was kept as Ogerpon. This could easily be explained by the fact that Pokemon tries to keep the names of the mythical Pokemon the same between languages. But could the fact that the name remains Ogerpon instead of Onipon be a hint that Ogerpon might originate from a Western-inspired region, like Unova or Galar? All in all, out of these options, I think Ogerpon most likely comes from Johto, but I can't completely disregard the other possibilities for now. Ogerpon has quickly become a top-tier Pokemon for me. I love its cute design and the way it portrays a cute Oni rather than the more commonly thought of scary Onis, while still remaining powerful. I also enjoy the way in which the story of Momotaro was shifted to have the Oni as the good guy, while the loyal three animal companions became the villains. Ogerpon is a fantastic blend of various folklore and Oni cultural inspirations, from the colors and masks to the weapons and stories, all wrapped up in a cute little package. There is no way you can not adore Ogerpon. But that's all I have for this video. I hope you have enjoyed this deep dive into Oni culture, folklore, and inspirations behind Ogerpon. I'd also like to give a shout out to Rumiko, the artist who created the illustration for the thumbnail of this video. Do check out Rumiko's Twitter to see more fantastic artwork, including more adorable Ogerpon illustrations that were created at the same time as the thumbnail illustration. Also, please do consider dropping a comment down below, liking this video, and subscribing if you're not yet subscribed. With all that being said, thanks so much for watching. It's time for me to say bye bye. またね